Case File 1024, a system so perfect, it was practically invisible, but every invisible machine has a master and a breaking point. Meet our lead engineer. 15 years of absolute, unbroken digital precision. Managed a $100 million logistics hub from this very desk. 3,000 robots, 1,000 routes, 0 errors every single day. He didn't just write the code. He lived inside the machine's heart. To the board, he was a cost. To the system, he was God. Revenue was up, costs were down. The world moved on his command. He thought he was building a legacy. He was actually building a target. 15 years of service, honored with a cheap piece of engraved plastic. The blue lights of efficiency were about to be stained blood red. The sound of expensive Italian leather announced the arrival of a disaster. Meet the nephew, fresh out of college with a degree in arrogance. He didn't want to learn the system. He wanted to disrupt it. To him, 15 years of experience was just old-school baggage. He started pulling threads he didn't understand, hunting for wasteful spending. The engineer saw a veteran. The nephew saw a ticking time bomb. Efficiency cuts. That's what he called firing the backbone of the company. A new protocol was forced through, written by someone who never touched a server. He deleted safety valves to save pennies. He was courting a massive catastrophe. The engineer tried to warn him. Logic was met with a mocking laugh. The nephew didn't want advice. He wanted total, unquestioned corporate control. He mocked the man who built his family's fortune. A fatal final mistake. The pink slip arrived. The brain of the operation was being removed. A 15-year career ended with a single, cold, red-inked signature. No goodbye, no thank you. Just a blue box and a security escort. Fired for being too expensive for the new regime's quarterly budget. But the engineer knew something the nephew didn't. Systems have long memories. He left a final validation check. A digital dead man's switch hidden deep. The blue keycard was snapped in half. The bridge was officially burned. Good luck, kid. You're going to need every bit of it tonight. He drove away, leaving behind a kingdom he no longer recognized. The nephew took the throne, lit by the arrogant red glow of ego. First order of business: delete the outdated safety protocols, execute the command. The system asked if he was sure. Arrogance always says yes. The countdown began. The heart of the company stopped beating instantly. Across the ocean, a $100 million cargo ship suddenly lost its way. The pulse of global trade flatlined in a single, silent second. The robots turned into mindless monsters, tearing the automated warehouse apart. Every second of red light silence cost the company $1,000. The nephew's phone started ringing, all of them all at once. Panic is a red light you cannot turn off with a family name. The CEO arrived. The uncle finally saw his nephew's true, panicked face. The board was watching their net worth evaporate in digital real time. Mainstream news picked it up. A global logistics nightmare was unfolding. $40 million gone, and the sun hadn't even set yet today. The nephew tried to log in. The system didn't recognize its master. By a quiet blue lake, the engineer finally caught his first fish. The phone vibrated, a desperate plea from the man who fired him. The engineer watched it ring. Silence is a powerful negotiating tool. Back at HQ, the CEO was losing his mind and his entire legacy. No answer. The man they discarded was now their only surviving hope. 1,400 shipments lost. The red warning lights were blinding now. The nephew was a ghost, a small man in a very big disaster. The stock price was a red waterfall. There was no bottom in sight. A black luxury limo pulled up to a modest, quiet blue house. The CEO didn't send an email this time. He came in person. The master engineer and the man who thought he could replace him. The door opened. The smell of tea met the scent of desperation. The begging began, but the price had just gone up tenfold. Come in, George, sit down. Let's talk about my new hourly rates. A blank check, the ultimate sign of a total corporate surrender. I don't want your money yet. I want your signature right here. 10 times the salary, plus a permanent seat on the executive board. And the nephew, he needs to be out of the building by sunset. The CEO hesitated. Then he looked at the red losses on his phone. Every second costs more than a year of the engineer's new pay. The red ink hit the paper. The power shifted forever. A contract signed in blood and desperation. The deal was officially done. Pack your things, George. We have a system to save tonight. The limo raced back, the hero returning to a digital battlefield. He wasn't an employee anymore. He was the owner of the solution. The office went quiet as the man they fired walked back in. The king had returned, and he brought the blue light with him. The nephew was sitting on the floor. Reality had finally hit home. Security arrived, not for the engineer, but for the family embarrassment, walking out in total shame. The cost of arrogance is always high. The engineer sat down. His fingers remembered the keys like a symphony. Override, purge, reboot. The blue code began to fight the red errors. A billion-dollar heartbeat slowly started to pulse again. Loading the core, the robots stopped their dance of death. The order was finally restored. Roots reappeared. The world started moving exactly as it should. One final tap of the enter key. The master was finally home. The screen turned a brilliant blue. The nightmare was officially over. The CEO watched the green numbers climb. The disaster was fully contained. $100 million saved. By the man he tried to discard. Revenue restored. But the hierarchy of the company had changed forever. The CTO chair was finally occupied by someone who actually earned it. Legacy isn't about the name on the door. It's about work. The nephew watched from the rain, a ghost of his own making. Never mistake a quiet expert for a replaceable part of the machine. Case File 1024. The truth always reveals the real master engineers. Case 1024. Closed, but remember the servers never forget a face or a mistake. Maskless Tales. Unmasking the corporate lies one case file at a time. What's your story? Send it in. We'll unmask the truth together. Thank you for watching, and this case is officially settled and unmasked.